who could go on his show of all the famous Canadians that can, like, actually explain to him what's really going on here?
Tom Green. And no, we don't need to ask him to do it. He's already done it. I'm so sorry, Mr. Green. I didn't realize you were already on Joe Rogan's podcast, and you did a hell of a job. Joe Rogan, for some reason, chooses to believe BS about Canada, about Trudeau being a dictator, about us losing our freedoms, and so on and so on. Now, I don't think Tom Green went on that podcast with the intention to bring up politics or to set Joe Rogan straight. However, he definitely had a plan to inform him in the most subtle, kind, intelligent way possible. I mean, it was truly wonderful to see a Canadian represent Canadians properly. Now, it doesn't seem that Joe Rogan even really listened, and I'm not sure if he really even understood what Tom Green was trying to say about Canada, but either way, it was a brilliant attempt on Tom Green's part.
I want you to come to Canada, Joe. I know you haven't come to Canada, but lately, but you got to come to Canada, because here's the thing. Because I watch the show all the time, so I know your feelings about Canada. But here's the thing, like, everybody loves you in Canada, So I'm coming down here. Everybody's so stoked that I'm here.
Okay, so clearly he doesn't mean literally, but this really drives the point home. Like, hey man, you have fans in Canada, and you're just shitting all over everybody for really no good reason.
And
I love Canadians. I just hate their government.
Mm-hmm. And
is that Pierre? How do you say his last name? Poilievre?
Yeah, well, it's French, so it's well. I don't think he's French, but the name's French. Pierre Poilievre. Sort of a weird R, silent R.
That guy makes so much more sense.
Yeah. So this is the thing that I kind of, I guess, just wanted to throw out there, which is, it's not unlike here in the U.S., right? You've got Biden as the president now, right? And then you've got essentially a Democrat. We actually call our Democrats the liberals, right? That's how unabashed we are liberal up there. We actually call the party the Liberal Party. It's not a bad word up there, right? They actually call them the liberals.
And the other ones are conservative.
And conservatives, liberals and conservatives.
Very good, Joe. Wow, you got that right. And see, this is Tom's way of pointing out, like, hey, there's a lot of liberals in Canada that don't agree with Poilievre as well. So, we're not ashamed to be liberal or whatever.
But it's the same thing, like, half the country hates the party in power right now, just like as much as anybody, and it's just a constant thing, and they want to get him out. And so, I just wanted to, as a proud Canadian, want to throw out the distinction that, Canada's, it's like here. It's the same bullshit that's here. Everybody's arguing about issues, important issues. It's being reinforced, through these algorithms. People get mad about it, and then they start arguing about. So,
brilliantly trying to emphasize the point that there's more than just one type of Canadian. And instead of saying we're this, we're that, comparing us to the U.S. So, maybe old Joe can kind of try to understand it a little bit better.
I sometimes kind of go, wouldn't it be interesting if Pierre Poilievre won the next election, right? Because then all of a sudden we'd have a conservative government up there. And let's say Biden won down here, you got a conservative government up there, and then Tucker Carlson might be going up to Canada talking about how great we are all of a sudden, They just can switch on a dime,
Now, what I've shown you here only scratches the surface of the wonderful things that Tom Green informs Joe Rogan of. Everything from gun control to just the bills that Trudeau, the, silencing the internet and, controlling podcasts. He sets him straight on a lot of things, and he just does it in such a beautiful way. I encourage you to go check out that full podcast of Tom Green on the Joe Rogan Show, and I'm going to try to post those clips for you as soon as I possibly can. So thank you, Tom Green. Thank you for trying. That's all we can do at this point.